Some of the most interesting questions raised in the Owl House are the ones that surround Ida's curse. Who exactly did this, and what was their motive? In an earlier video, we theorized that Ida's sister, Lilith, may have been the one to curse Ida, but that was before she had even made an appearance. It was just some hypothesizing based on her being the only figure from Ida's past that we had seen via the Season 1 trailer. Now that we have seen their relationship develop, it seems unlikely that she's the one who cursed her, at least purposely, and in fact, it seems that Lilith might actually be cursed herself, thanks to some subtle clues we were able to piece together from throughout the episodes. Is this possible? We'll break it down, but before we do, I just want to remind you about our Owl House parody t-shirts available at our Utip shop. Head on over with the link down in this description and check out our Witches Before Wizards shirt, as well as our Full Metal Alchemist shirt. Also available in sweater and hoodie form. When Luce first meets Ida, she introduces herself as Ida the Owl Lady, and when she takes Luce to her home, it even has an owl theme, with a strange glowing symbol carved into the walls that seems to represent an owl demon. Because of how old the house feels, it gives the impression that it is a family home, that the owl theme is something that belongs to her bloodline. After all, if she's being turned into an owl-like monster, she probably wouldn't embrace that imagery as part of her identity, with Hootie and the other owl imagery just being a constant reminder that her time as a sentient humanoid is limited. When we meet Lilith, however, she has no owl imagery involved with her. Instead, all of her symbolism and magic is raven-themed, and even her design is more dark and sleek and smooth like a raven. Like Ida, she is a bird for a palisman, also seemingly a raven, and when she makes herself appear in the convention hall, she appears in the image of a raven that explodes into light as well. Like Ida with owls, she has seriously leaned into the imagery of a raven, almost as if she is also cursed to turn into a raven-like monster the way Ida is, but the evidence doesn't end there. In yet another previous video, we broke down some of the codes seen within the Owl House, and one of them in particular is rather relevant here. In the background of each episode, you can often find signs in the Boiling Isle's written language. Most of them are just regular signs advertising whatever is around, particularly shops at the marketplace, but each episode has one sign in particular marked with the symbol of an eye preceding it. Thanks to Tumblr users Antissa Rose and Is This Where the Line Starts, we are able to decode what each word means, due to a lot of the more mundane signs such as those advertising shops also having the same words written in English, allowing us to piece together what the Boiling Isle's runic alphabet is. Each eyeball message in each episode is only one word, but when you line them up sequentially, they begin to form a sentence. So far, with the first 10 episodes, the message says, "Two witches torn apart. Now alone, 2 hearts of stone." Now, Adventures in the Elements, the 11th episode that we have seen, also has a secret word in it, but because this episode was aired out of order, it doesn't make any sense to be the next word in the message, but it does give us an idea of what the message will be about. The secret word was curse, meaning that the curse has some significance to the sisters' relationship. One thing I find particularly interesting is that the secret message mentions hearts of stone. This, of course, could be interpreted as symbolic, how these two who should love each other have turned against each other and have to pretend to hate each other. They constantly fight, but it's clear that Lilith cares for Ida still, something that Ida takes advantage of, and Lilith does her best to get Ida to work with her as opposed to arrest her for the rest of her life. But I think it can be taken very literally too. Both sisters have strange stones that seem to be growing on their chests. You may argue that it's not where their hearts are, but a witch's heart is a bit different than a human one, with a special bile sac that grows out of it that would be more towards the center of your chest. At first glance, these stones seem like decorative jewelry, but we can see that it actually exists under Ida's clothes when she switches into her sleepwear, and crazier still, it changes colors when she transforms as part of the curse. It seems to be directly related to the curse because of that, so why would Lilith have one as well if she wasn't cursed? Considering these are the only 2 characters in the show who definitely have them, and the secret message talks about their hearts turning to stone, somehow in relation to the curse, it seems likely that this is a side effect of it. Lilith could be turning into a raven monster when things get bad, but she probably has access to better potions thanks to the fact that she works for the Emperor. After all, Ida has to get hers on the black market because she's a societal outcast. The good thing about this is that it's implied that the curse is something that can be broken by the sisters coming together in some way. For now, we've only seen them get into some epic anime-style action battles, but it seems clear that the show will be shaped by their evolving relationship. There are a few wrenches that can be thrown into this theory though. For one, other Heartstones do seemingly exist within the show, but I think we can debunk them. Most of them appear to be decorative buttons for capes, such as everyone in the Emperor's Coven having a triangle. This is pretty much confirmed to be decorative when Lilith appears in the same cape with the same triangle, as well as the Warden wearing the triangle off to the side back in episode 1. There are a few shots in the background of what appears to maybe be Heartstones as well, but they mostly seem to be decorative buttons on top of capes, just like the Emperor's had. They have circles within a circle, so they don't really match the design of the actual Heartstones we see with the sisters. And the only outlier I'm finding seems to be Amity's sister Emera when she's in her casual outfit. But it could be a decorative pin meant to further highlight her gender differences from her twin brother. We do not see it in her school uniform either because her uniform cape covers it, or because she's not wearing it. Same goes for when she's in her winter wear at the Witch's Arena during the Adventures in the Elements, where a giant coat is covering it, assuming it is still there. So we can't really say if it's just a Heartstone or a decorative pin. I personally choose to believe that it's decorative because it doesn't really make sense to me that she would have this and not her brother. Whatever she is going through that would give her that would most likely be happening to him too, assuming it's not something that only happens to female witches, though we see no evidence of it anywhere else. That's all I got for you guys today, but what do you think? Is Lilith cursed and slowly turning into a raven monster? Will the show end with an epic giant monster showdown between Owl Ida and Raven Lilith? Or are these interesting things pieces to a puzzle that we can't quite see the full picture of yet? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.